We developed the most powerful 3D sound engine. We can simulate how the sound will flow in your specific ears.
好了，大家好，待会儿想介绍这家公司非常的有意思。在我介绍它之前，大家看一下这个屏幕上所显示的这些好莱坞的电影，包括这些非常知名的游戏的制作公司，包括这个音乐的制作人。这家公司它做的事情跟声音非常有关系，但它做的又非常特别，因为这家公司呢，它叫 Sound Particles， 它做的事情是把传统的 2D 的声音变成 3D 的这个声音。
Here is the development room. Please, I will show you where my colleagues develop the software that makes that magic that you listen.
听到一堆苍蝇在我这手头边上飞。
I can show you. We first start to print ears. These are some ears of all the personnel, okay, to make acoustic tests. We replaced those ears that were in this mannequin, and we find out that it was not enough, so we are printing heads and torsos. These are some heads and torsos of persons that of our colleagues that work here, and then we'll do acoustic tests with here. And next step will be clothes and with hair and with glasses and so on. This is the room where we make the tests. Please, João, take the floor.
Okay. I will control the guitar.
Wow.
So it's a simple tool, but it's one that our customers requested and they enjoy it very much. It's basically this. I can put sound in space and use my cell phone to control it. Because most mixers, they don't want to always be using the mouse and the knobs to control the panoramic. So they prefer this kind of tool where they just simply point to a channel and the sound will go there. And what's great about the plugin is the ability to put in a lot of audio formats. In this case, we are using 916, which is this nine speakers on our ear level, 6 on top, and 1 subwoofer. So Sound Particles is what is used in most Hollywood movies. When you are creating a 3D environment for animated pictures, what you do is you have a virtual 3D space and you put a camera in the 3D space, and then you create characters and you point the camera in the 3D environment, the virtual one. You place the camera where you want and all that stuff. And Nuno had the idea to do the same thing but with sound. So we have a 3D environment where we can play our sounds wherever we want, and we have microphones inside this place where the microphone will decide where the sound will be placed. So besides that, the other great breakthrough was the ability to use a sample of a sound, and with slight changes to that sample, you can say, okay, I have this sample of a gunshot, but I don't want to hear it repeatedly because it's not natural to hear always the same gunshot. So when you have a massive battlefield, you want to hear multiple gunshots, different ones, and if you need to record 1,000 different gunshots, you will spend the full year recording gunshots. Instead of that, we can have like 10 samples, and with slight changes in all of them, you start to have massive differences in all these samples. So the result is something like this.
I'm so dead. So this we have all the setup, right?
What's
But we have all the like speakers or setups. But I think we tried something before is with like a normal earphone, but you can also hear the sound seems come from different place.
So the thing is, I can say that right now the software is pouring sound into the speakers, right?
Yes.
But I can say that instead of this, if I'm not in an environment like this,
Yeah.
I can say that I want my software to instead a binaural output, and I can say, okay, instead of hearing this in all this space, I just have my headphones, so I will put enable binaural output, and if I'm using my phones, I will hear kind of the same thing inside the headphones. Of course, it's not exactly the same thing yet. We want to reach that point where the experience is the same. And the same happens with the plugins I was showing you before, like all the plugins I was showing before. They were set to be played in this environment. But if I want, I can go to the output and say, instead of this, I want to hear in binaural. And also, I can say, not only I want to hear in binaural, but if I have the ability to print my own ears, I can say I want my own personal ID, ear ID, to be here in the software and hear through that. So the first part was about binaural, this part is about hearing in space, but the logic is the same. We just want to reach a point where we can do both things, because not everybody has the possibility to have this amount of speakers inside.
现在在我坐在边上就是这家公司的 COO， 那我们也请他给介绍一下这家公司到底能够做出什么样的产品。So please, can you give us an introduction and also talk about what's the sound particles, what's the amazing part?
The company started in 2016 by Nuno Fonseca, our founder. He was a passionate for audio, for big film productions, and also for computer science and artificial intelligence. He was the creator, and he's still the vision that guides us. And we developed the most powerful 3D sound engine that is used in the major studios of Hollywood in productions like Dune, Star Wars, and more recently Oppenheimer. Of course, also in video game companies and musicians that use also our technology, like Hans Zimmer, Jean-Michel Jarre, Peter Gabriel, and many others. We are a deep tech. This means that we deal with very complex problems in audio, and we develop technology that is very, very hard to develop. In our team, we are 17 very skilled persons. We have, for instance, 4 PhDs and book authors, and we have patents in the US regarding our technology. The concept seems simple, and it's not. The idea is to apply the computer graphics interface to the audio. When you apply the computer graphics idea to the audio, each sound is a particle, which means that you can position in space each audio and define the movement of that audio. In this way, you can create very complex scenes in an easy way. Otherwise, to create these complex scenes, you will take probably much more time and much more effort. In this way, you reduce the complexity for producers, for musicians, and then they can create and don't be attached to all the technical details that they need to consider. This is just a small video that shows our software creates complex scenes from scratch, where with a set of audios and virtual microphone and particle system technology, we can create these fantastic scenes that you see in the production that I mentioned. Some of our products, Sound Particles 3, that we are releasing this year, that has these complex scenes as the latest version of Sound Particles 2, but now we added several key features like virtual instruments, like ADM and an AI assistant that can help producers, musicians, sound engineers to use the software in an easy way to communicate with the machine. Other products that we develop also plugins for digital audio workstations, and all of them are supported in this complex movement of immersive audio, okay, that is used also, for instance, for video games. That is an industry that requires a lot of virtual reality and immersive reality and needs this kind of technology to create those immersive realistic spaces. In 2023 we released the first commercial synthesizer immersive, okay, and now we are releasing another synthesizer, a granular synthesizer. It will be this year. It was a huge success, and musicians like Jean-Michel Jarre, they said, I was waiting for this for about 20 years. We were in Paris to present the software, and the recognition was very, very exciting and very, very huge. As we are focused on 3D spatial, we find out a need of a sound library specifically focused on 3D. That's why we developed Explorer that has more 200 audios mainly focused on 3D. But our adventure now is we open another front of opportunity, that is the 3D sound for everyone using just a set of headphones. All the industry is moving to 3D audio, but the main problem is most of the people don't have 10 or plus speakers in their home, so they consume most of the times the entertainment by headphones. So what is our dream? That everyone in the planet, using any kind of device, a simple headphone, can have the 3D audio as if it was in a cinema, with 30 columns, 30 speakers all over the place. This is a huge market, okay? It's a 10 billion market, and that's why we are addressing. Of course, it's not an easy market. There are already solutions. Some are good, but they are not scalable. Some are scalable, but are not good. And we are trying to find out a good solution and scalable solution. And this is a urgent need for our targets, like streaming, video games, big techs, hardware companies, and multimedia software. We have been working in the last 5 years on this technology, and we intended to release it by the end of this year, on the next year on the market, in the beginning of the next year on the market. And it's the result of 5 hard years of research. Now we have a prototype that we will show you. You can define, you have personalized audio based on the capture of your head and your ears. We can simulate how the sound will flow in your specific ears, because each ears are different from each person, and the right ear is even different from the left ear. Another area where we are focused is creating massive data sets for AI. The main problem is when you are trying to do speech recognition or voice recognition is that you have data sets, but to train accurately a neural network, you need massive amounts of data sets. And you need massive amounts of data sets with noise. With our technology, we can precisely define what kind of data sets that what we want, the distribution of the audios, and with rich metadata that can make neural networks more accurate. Because in our metadata, you can say exactly what type of sounds are coming from, where they do come from, what is the distance they are coming from, and where they are located in the space. Imagine this, for instance, for automotive industry. You want to know where the other cars come from, where the persons come from. Not only that there is a person, or there is another vehicle. You want to know where it comes from. Okay? Imagine a baby crying, and you want to train a deep neural network to find out a baby crying. Okay? You want to train, and you want the network says where it comes from. Voice recognition. You want to have the voice recognition data set, but with a lot of noise when you are in the street, in the phone, with the cars, and so on. So you have to have complex and rich data sets for voice recognition. Thank you.
So I'm Pedro João, I'm the founder and CEO of OmniFlow, and we provide sustainable smart city solutions.